Hello and welcome in our YouTube channel Metallurgical Facts. So we are starting a new video series for GATE Metallurgy aspirants, and this is GATE 2021 Metallurgy practice. Okay, so in this video series we will try to practice metallurgical engineering questions and through the previous year questions, and also we will try to add few more fresh questions. And in this video series we will do mainly MSQ type of questions, MSQs type of questions, and NAT type, that is numerical answer type. And among these type we will try to focus on MSQs and NAT, that is numerical answer type problems. Okay, so this is part one of this video series, and we will try to add more and more part if we will get few positive feedback of this video series. Okay, so I hope that this video series will be very beneficial for boosting your examination preparation, and try to connected with this video series so that you will able to add few more concepts in your preparation. Okay, so in between this video in between practicing of metallurgical engineering questions, I will try to introduce how to avoid the silly mistakes, what should be our strategy for the GATE 2021, and about for what topic we should focus more and more for gaining marks. Okay, so try to follow this video series. So the first question is, injection metallurgy is practiced in secondary steel making for. Okay, so here I have written MSQ. This is the type of question, that is multiple select questions. It means the options may one option or more than one option may be correct for this question. Okay, so this is very nice question from secondary steel making part, and this secondary steel making part is very important for GATE metallurgy. Okay, so secondary steel making, the purpose of this secondary steel making is to produce the clean steel by doing deoxidation, deep deep decarburization, you can say this deep decarburization. Okay, so you can also write down these points. This will be very beneficial for making the short notes. Okay, so deoxidation, deep decarburization, degassing, these all are the objective of this secondary steel making. Okay, so degassing we do, and higher recovery of alloying elements. Suppose if we are talking about AOD and VOD, high recovery of alloying elements, we do under this secondary steel making. So okay, so there are many things, and the most important thing is that the purpose of this secondary steel making is to produce clean steel. Okay, so this clean steel is very important. Okay, so this is the purpose, and in this secondary steel making they are asking this injection metallurgy is practiced. Okay, so what is the purpose of this injection metallurgy, and how and why we do this injection metallurgy in steel making? Okay, so this injection metallurgy, there are mainly two purpose of this this injection metallurgy. One is to remove the sulfur, means deep for the desulfurization purpose we do this injection metallurgy. Okay, so for removing the sulfur. And the second thing is for the modification of inclusion, or you can say that inclusion modification we do through this injection metallurgy. And what we do in this injection metallurgy, we inject the powder or wire in form of some desulfurizing agent. Okay, so, and that desulfurizing agent are mainly calcium silicon alloys. Okay, mainly that is calcium alloys. Okay, so CaO compound, you can say CaO, F2. So these all are desulfurizing desulfurizing agent. Okay, so by injecting these desulfurizing agent, we remove this sulfur, or we do the inclusion modification by through this injection metallurgy. Okay, so what are the purpose of this injection metallurgy? You can say the removal of sulfur we can do this injection metallurgy. So removal of silicon we cannot do, removal of manganese we cannot do, inclusion modification is also correct. Okay, so for this question we can say that option A is correct and option D is correct. Okay, so this A and D both are correct for this question. So the next question is numerical answer type of questions. So this is NAT type of questions. Just I am trying to introduce with new sorry, this is the question pattern. This is not new pattern. Okay, new pattern is MSQs. So in an arc welding experiment, the current, voltage and electrode travel speed are given. respectively, the heat input per unit length of the weld is given by. So we have to find heat per unit length. Okay, heat input per unit length, you can represent it by Q or H in welding processes. Okay, so first of all, in numerical answer type, just after reading this type of questions, that write down the given data. Okay, so given data are how it does not matter how simple this question is, but you need to write the given data just to avoid the silly mistakes in numerical answer type of questions. Okay, so I is given, that is 140 ampere. Volt V is given, that is voltage is given, that is 22 volt. And also this speed, welding speed is given, that is small v. I am writing here, don't confuse with this capital V and this small v. This is welding speed. You can also represent it by S. In some books you will find this S as welding speed. So 15 centimeter per minute. Okay, so this is all given data. And what is the formula for finding this heat input per unit length? I have given one video specifically for welding numericals. You can watch that video for gaining more idea about the unit conversion in welding processes. Okay, so this Q is equals to Vi by V. This is speed, you can say S. Okay, so for this type of questions you need to play with units, because if you will not handle the units, you will not convert the units, you will be doing wrong questions, wrong answers. You will get wrong answers after doing that questions. Okay, so V is in volt, that is fine. I is in ampere, and this VI is basically power, and this power unit is watt. Okay, and watt is joule per second. So this is fine. We have to find in heat per unit length, that is H by L. Okay, so welding speed is in we have given in centimeter per minute. Okay, so whenever you will put this V value, that is speed, always put it into length by seconds. Okay, because whenever you will balance this unit, joule per second multiplied by this centimeter multiplied by this second, then only this second will second cancel, and joule per centimeter will be our unit for calculating the heat per unit length. Okay, and if suppose if it will be in minutes, so you cannot cancel this minutes into the seconds. So for cancellation purpose, for unit balancing, you need to change that minute into the second. So what we will do, we will change this centimeter per minute into centimeter per second. So 15 by 16 if we will do, that will convert into centimeter per seconds. Now we will put this value in this equation, that given equation. So we will put this all value in this equation, and we will try to find this Q. So Q is equals to V, that is 22, and I is equals to 140, and V welding speed is 15 by 60. So from here we will get like that 12320. I am writing here directly, you can calculate just for cross checking. Okay, so this is in joule centimeter, and in options they have given in kilojoule per centimeters. Okay, so what we will do, we will divide it by 1000. So we'll get into kilojoule per centimeter. So this is the answer, this is the correct answer for this question, 12.320. So D part is correct for this question. So for this type of questions, try to avoid this unit mistake. Okay, so try to put all the unit in formula and do the unit balance first, then put the values in this formula and try to get the answer. So the next question is the interplanar spacing of the first reflecting plane, that is lowest theta in FCC crystal. Okay, so they are asking to calculate interplanar spacing. So first of all, we should know what is this interplanar spacing. So D is equals to A by under root of H square plus K square plus L square. This is the formula for interplanar spacing, and here this A is basically lattice parameter. Okay, so this A is lattice parameter, and this H square K square plus L square is reflecting planes. And you know, in FCC crystal structure, from extension rule for FCC crystal structure, you know this H square plus K square plus L square values for all cubic crystals. Okay, so this H square plus K square plus L square is equals to 3 is to 4 is to 8 is to 11 is to 12. Okay, so they are asking about the first reflecting plane, that is lowest theta. So first reflecting plane is 3, so we will put this H square K square plus L square values here. Okay, so D is equals to A by under root of 3. So this is the correct answer for this question. So A by root 3 is correct. B is correct answer for this question. So the next question is matching type of questions. This is the third type of question, that is matching type of questions they will ask in GATE exam. So you will be given group 1 and group 2 and you have to match this group 1 to group 2. Okay, so I will suggest you for doing this matching type of questions, don't match like this. Okay, don't match like this, or don't directly jump into the options for matching purpose. Okay, so just try to make your own matching code. Okay, so so write down that PQRS in blank page and try to match trying to find the common one or the odd one, and just try to make the code. Okay, so sometimes you will get easily by finding these things. Okay, so you will be easily eliminating these options by making these codes. Okay, so first of all we will see that P, this is divide temperature, state property, thermodynamics probability, and activation energy. Okay, so here you will see that this is rate constant, specific heat, internal energy, microstates in microstates in macrostates. Okay, so for this question, this divide temperature, you should know what is this divide temperature. Divide temperature is the temperature, this is the highest achievable temperature that can be achieved in a single normal vibration. Okay, so this is the divide temperature. And what is the role of this divide temperature? This actually for some crystals below this divide temperature, below this divide temperature, the specific heat, that Cp, specific heat increases with the cubic of this temperature, and above this divide temperature, what happens? Above this divide temperature, that is constant, means that is independent of that is constant. Okay, so there is no change, that is independent of temperature. So this is the role of divide temperature in crystals. Okay, so independent of the temperature. So you can say this divide temperature is somehow related to the specific heat, and this specific heat we can match through this divide temperature. So P we can match by 2. So the second one is state property. Okay, so state property is the property, state property is the basically the unique value for given state of the systems. Okay, so state properties are generally enthalpy. Okay, so you can remember these things for exam. Okay, so enthalpy, entropy, internal energy, these all are internal energy, these all are state property. And some properties are path property. You can say like that, path function or state function. Okay, so work and heat is path function. Okay, so these two terms are here in thermodynamics, state property and path property. I have already introduced when we talked about the intensive property and extensive property of the material. Okay, so state property you can match by this internal energy. So P we can match by this 3. Okay, now this thermodynamic probability. Okay, so this thermodynamic probability, you have seen this formula, this entropy calculation, this S is equals to K ln W, and here this W is thermodynamic probability. Okay, so this is the thermodynamic probability. And what is the meaning of this thermodynamic probability? This thermodynamic probability is basically equals to the number of microstates which realize a given macrostates. Okay, so this is somehow related to the microstates, macrostates in the microstates. Okay, so we can match this thermodynamics probability by 4. This is very important matching for GATE 2021. Okay, and this type of matching they may ask in GATE 2021. Okay, so be ready for this type of questions. The last one is activation energy. So activation energy, you all know this activation energy is related to the rate constant by Arrhenius equation. So R is equals to A exponential of minus Q by RT. Okay, so here this Q is activation energy and this R is rate constant. So you can relate this activation energy by rate constant. So our code is 2341. Okay, so 2341 is correct for this question. So 2341. So this D part is correct for this question. Here you can find that this 2341. So the next question is deterioration of metal due to the relative motion between the corrosive fluid and metal surface is known as. Okay, so in some questions you will find this type of problem, that relative movement is there between corrosive fluid and metal surface. So wherever the relative motion between the metal surface takes place, that is the case of erosion. Okay, so first option is pitting, erosion corrosion, stress corrosion, and intergranular corrosion. So pitting, what is pitting corrosion? Pitting is basically very dangerous type of corrosion, pitting corrosion, and this is localized corrosion. This is also known as localized corrosion in stainless steel, or you can say steel. So this is very this produces cavity and holes in steels. Okay, so this is very dangerous because the prediction or detection both is very hard for pitting type of corrosion. Okay, and the B part is erosion corrosion. So erosion corrosion is corrosion where relative movement between the corrosive fluid and metal surface take place. Okay, so this is the case of erosion corrosion. Okay, so C part is stress corrosion. For the stress corrosion we need three necessarily we need two things, but three things is very important in this stress corrosion. First is stress and the corrosive environment, both is important, and temperature also plays important role in this stress corrosion. Okay, so this stress corrosion is stress requires stress and corrosive environment. And D part is intergranular corrosion. This is the special type of corrosion which happens into the stainless steel, and in which in this type of intergranular corrosion, this happens into the 18-8 stainless steel generally, and carbide, this is chromium carbide layer precipitates forms onto the grain boundaries. Okay, so grain boundaries, on the grain boundaries you will find this precipitation of this chromium carbide, and this is due to the excessive residual carbon in the stainless steel, or due to the prolonged exposed to the elevated temperature. So these two things are responsible for intergranular corrosion. The first thing which is responsible for intergranular corrosion is the excessive residual carbon, and the second thing is due to the prolonged exposure to the elevated temperature. Okay, so we have seen about these all options. So for this question, deterioration of the metal due to the relative movement between the corrosive fluid and metal surface is known as erosion corrosion. So B part is correct for this question. Thank you guys for your attention. Hope you have learned something new. Please try to give valuable feedback so that we can add more and more part before GATE 2020 exam in this video series. Try to follow this video series till GATE exam. You will surely learn many concepts from this video series. Thank you. Subscribe our channel and press bell icon to get notifications. Thank you.